Welcome back to Crypto Mainstream, episode number 4. Episode number 4. We're cruising, and I think we have 20 plus subscribers. So we're cruising, one step at a time. So let's talk about Bitcoin misconceptions. Actually, before we talk about that, we're gonna talk about 3 little things that I like to say all the time. None of this is financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor, he's not a financial advisor. We're just crypto enthusiasts here to teach you a little bit about crypto and what's going on in the world. Number 2, don't spend anything that you can't afford to lose. Yeah, investing's fun and the idea of it, but if you don't have extra money to spend, don't invest. Sit on the sidelines for a little bit and find a better opportunity in the future. And then lastly, do your own research, do your own homework. Again, I'm just a guy on the internet saying stuff, and you can't trust the internet. So do your own homework, figure out what you want to do, and invest that way. Now we're going to talk about Bitcoin misconceptions. So the first misconception that I get a lot of is people always say, well, Shafe, like, Bitcoin's $8,500 just for one. How am I ever going to afford it? But one really cool thing with Bitcoin that's a lot different from the stock market is you don't have to buy one. You could buy fractions of it. And technically in the stock market, you can get fractional shares or do index funds and things like that. But with Bitcoin, you could literally put in, $85 today and get 0.01 Bitcoin. You could buy fractions all the way down to the 8th decimal. So I would say don't let that steer you away. You don't have to buy one at a time. You could buy fractions. And that's why in the last video about dollar cost averaging, I was saying, even if just $100 here, $100 there, that's how you pretty much can get into investing. So that's the first misconception that I hear all the time. Misconception number 2. Everyone thinks that Bitcoin is just like this digital currency that is just feeding like criminal activity and all the like dark web stuff, and that is just not true. Yes, way back when there was a website called the Silk Road and a lot of illegal activity happened and cryptocurrency was the main form of payment for that. But guys, so much drug activity happens every day using fiat money, like cash. I was a bartender for a long time. I see where this cash goes. More people probably do criminal stuff with cash than they do with Bitcoin. It is such a tiny percent of people who are using Bitcoin. Some are holding it, some are trading it, some are buying things with it. The actual amount of criminal activity that happens with Bitcoin is so minor. So another kind of little note that I'll tie in here that's a 2.5 misconception is people think that Bitcoin is untraceable, and that's why all these drug lords are using Bitcoin to like transfer money around and launder money. It's because no one could trace it. Bitcoin is traceable. Like, yes, you're not having your name, your address, and your phone number attached to it, but you have a wallet. Law enforcement has been catching people nonstop by following wallet addresses and finding who the culprit was. They even admit that if it was done with cash, they'd never find the guy. So don't think that Bitcoin is like this whole criminal dark web underground type of currency, because it's not. Misconception number 3, Bitcoin isn't backed by anything. People always come up to me and they'll be like, why on earth would you invest in this or try to use cryptocurrency? It's not backed by any money. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by this. And people my age come to me, and the thing I hear all the time is, oh, well, at least cash is backed by gold, so we have that. Spoiler alert, it hasn't been backed by gold in like 40, 50 years, like longer than I've been alive. Nixon took us off the gold standard back in like the 70s. So right now, I hate to break it to you, but that fiat cash money that you use all the time isn't backed by anything. I mean, it's what?
Fugazi, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.
Yeah, it's not backed by anything. It's pretty much just the trust that we put into it. If the government collapsed, our dollars would be worth nothing. There's countries around the world, like Venezuela, that they literally just burn their cash because these trillionaires are the poorest people in the world. Like, their money means nothing. It's been inflated and printed so much that it is worth less than the paper that it's on, pretty much. So I would say, when it comes to wondering if it's backed by anything, I mean, wouldn't you rather have a currency that's being used worldwide than something that is just so isolated in one country? It's like, if that country falls apart, unfortunately that money's not going to be used anymore. It's going to be pretty much useless. But if you're using something that every country's around, it almost makes it less risky, in my opinion, to use something that at least everyone is on the understanding of its value. So those are the big 3 that I get a lot. Yeah, there's a lot more misconceptions about Bitcoin, and it still is new. It's been around for 10 years, but it's still in its infancy stage. People still don't know, less than 1% of my friends even have crypto or know about it or even research it or look into it or have any interest in it whatsoever. I'm the one just kind of trying to spread it a little bit. But 10 years down the road, Bitcoin's gonna be a big thing, and all these misconceptions are kind of gonna get put to rest because people are gonna understand really what it's used for and what potential it has. So that's it for us. Real quick and easy, just wanted to kind of get that out there. Those are kind of the 3 biggest questions that I get when I talk to people about crypto, so I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video on it. I have a fun little challenge that we're gonna do in February that I think you should stick around for. We're gonna release a video on the 1st. So until then, hit that subscribe button, that like, come back, watch our videos. We really do appreciate it. I'm telling you, when I see new people who subscribe to this channel, it motivates me to make another video, and I really love doing this. I get to hang out with my brother, spend some time with him. We have fun making these things, so lots more to come. All right, take it easy.